Well, what a week it's been for head coach Kyle Shanahan's coaching staff. A couple of days ago, John Embry, the assistant head coach and tight ends coach, was let go. On Friday, Anthony Lynn was hired to take his place as the assistant head coach. We did a video this morning because Richard Hightower, the special teams coach, left San Francisco to go to the Chicago Bears to be a part of Matt Eberflus's staff. I think it was trending in a direction where he was not going to be retained. And then the news that we've really been monitoring closely and waiting for over the last couple of days and the last week, Mike McDaniel, the 49ers offensive coordinator, has agreed to terms to become the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Adam Schefter just tweeting that news out moments ago. You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Sr., bringing you another video from the crib because 49ers news continues to happen, and when that does, we always bring you the content. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button down below, because whether we're at the Chat Sports studios, at home, on the road, we always have you covered with all things Niners. So Mike McDaniel, whose rise throughout the NFL coaching ranks has been meteoric and unbelievable, he has his next step, and he's going to take over for Brian Flores as the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This has really been a pretty incredible rise for him, and the storyline along the way has been very, very interesting for him. So he went to Yale. He played wide receiver there. He was then the ball boy for Mike Shanahan with the Denver Broncos. He then goes to Houston because Gary Kubiak wanted him to be a part of his staff, and he was an offensive assistant from 2006 to 2008. He ran into troubles with alcohol, so that kind of curtailed his NFL coaching career. He was able to get that all squared away, went through some rehabilitation, got back into the NFL with the Washington football team, once again with Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan on that coaching staff, and was an offensive assistant with Washington in 2011-2012. He becomes the wide receivers coach in 2013. He goes with Kyle Shanahan to the Cleveland Browns in 2014 and is the wide receivers coach. He goes to the Falcons with Kyle Shanahan when he was the OC in 2015-2016 as an offensive assistant. And since 2017, Mike McDaniel has been on the 49ers coaching staff. First as a run game coordinator, and then in 2021, he was named as the offensive coordinator. He was really instrumental over the last couple of years, and especially this year, with really bringing a pivotal, creative, influential mind to the offensive side of the football, coming up with creative plays in the run game, play designs, and has been credited with experimenting and suggesting and tinkering with Deebo Samuel going from just wide receiver to wide back, and him getting a lot of carries in that backfield. So with this move, San Francisco, because Mike McDaniel is biracial, his father and grandmother were black, the 49ers get 2 third-round compensatory picks, and in the process, this is yet another move and change to Kyle Shanahan's coaching staff on top of all of the moves that we have discussed all throughout the week and all of the moves that I talked about earlier. What's crazy, too, is that Mike McDaniel was on that same 2012 Washington offensive staff as Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, and Kyle Shanahan. That now makes 4 current NFL head coaches on one staff from 10 years ago. As for who will replace Mike McDaniel as offensive coordinator, it's going to be interesting to see what Kyle Shanahan does. Now, when Anthony Lynn was hired on Friday, we had talked about it here on the 49ers Report that I had thought Lynn was basically the de facto replacement for Mike McDaniel, because everything was kind of moving in a direction where McDaniel was going to get this Dolphins head coaching job. He was one of 2 finalists alongside Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. So now Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore are retained by Dallas, and while Kyle Shanahan was able to retain defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans, who next hiring cycle is probably going to be one of the top available candidates, he does lose his offensive coordinator in Mike McDaniel. Now, I'm not sure if Shanahan is going to specifically name an offensive coordinator. Lynn could slide into that role. The current pass game coordinator could slide into that role as well. but from 2017 to 2020, Kyle Shanahan didn't even have an offensive coordinator because he calls the plays. So if he does name an offensive coordinator, they're still not going to call the plays. Kyle Shanahan will continue to do that as one of the best play callers in the National Football League. So Mike McDaniel goes from being ball boy for Mike Shanahan in Denver, played wide receiver at Yale, and he's really been coaching with Kyle Shanahan since the Houston days, follows Shanahan everywhere he goes, able to climb up the coaching ladder, and is now the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins. For Miami, is he going to be able to get Tua Tagovailoa on track? You have Jalen Waddle. You have a couple of other really good weapons in Miami, and McDaniel has really been talked about as, of course, a bright and creative offensive mind, but also a very, very good communicator as well. And all of these skill sets, all of these attributes, all of these components are very, very important for a head coach in nowadays NFL. Kind of gone are some of the old school coaches who are meatheads, classic football guys who will get into their players' grills and go after them verbally and just be that overall tough guy. I think that's part of the reason why Jim Harbaugh didn't get a job in this hiring cycle, and now we're seeing more so communicators, offensive minds, young guys. McDaniel's only 38 years old, getting a lot of these head coaching jobs. The Sean McVays of the world, the Kyle Shanahans, the Matt LaFleurs, and now it's the Mike McDaniels of the world getting those head coaching jobs as well. So what has already started off as a pretty fascinating 49ers offseason, which got underway about a week ago from this point, because at this point, San Francisco was playing in the conference championship game against the Rams before that heartbreaking defeat, has already gotten off to a very, very interesting start. As for the positions that Shanahan has to fill, tight ends coach, special teams coach, it could be a Rich Bisaccia, could be a Joe Judge, or somebody else. They have to find that replacement for John Embry at tight ends coach, as I talked about. Maybe offensive coordinator as well. And maybe it's just Anthony Lynn who slides into that role. He could be named officially as the OC or just hold on to that title as assistant head coach and do a lot of the same that McDaniel was tasked with. Coming up with creative play designs, creative play ideas, and being that run game guru that McDaniel has been credited for and applauded for over the last couple of years. So, hey, we're going to continue to have you covered right here on the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. It's funny, when Richard Hightower left San Francisco for the Chicago Bears, we pushed out a video, and I kind of said it then, like all indications are that McDaniel is or isn't going to be named the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins over the next few hours. So I got a workout in, I got a run done, and as I was getting done the run, I look at my phone and I see, okay, the news made official by Adam Schefter that McDaniel going to be the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins. So this is why you subscribe to the channel, honestly. Just surpassed 55,000 subscribers. We push out free daily videos covering the latest 49ers news and rumors. When breaking news like this happens, we have you covered as well. So join the faithful family here at Chat Sports and join the party, because everything that happens with this football team, we have you covered with videos in a very timely manner that's informative, entertaining, educational, and of course, we'll be pushing out videos every single day this week, going live on Tuesday as well. You've been watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. As long as this 49ers news continues to come out, we're going to continue to push out videos. Mike McDaniel going to Miami as the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins.